What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So today we're going to be talking about NIO, all about NIO stock, and breaking down some technicals here and going over their recent numbers in terms of delivery numbers, which came out earlier this month. And I also want to break down a big catalyst that I'm seeing here that could end up pushing the stock up over the next coming months here, even the next coming weeks. And on top of that, we're going to go over some estimates for their Q1 earnings and revenue numbers that are coming out here tomorrow. So if you guys find value, hit the like button, subscribe. That helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments as well. And check out all the free links down below, the Discord chat, the Facebook group. You guys can get 2 stocks from WeBull, 30 bucks from M1 Finance, 10 bucks from Coinbase, and you can check out my Patreon. All of those are linked down below. So let's talk, guys. First and foremost, as of late, before we get into the numbers, let's look at the chart. As of late, NIO has been breaking out, right? It's broken out of the descending triangle here that, quite honestly, it's been downtrending and pushing deeper and deeper into this pattern for over almost 2 months. Well, it's been almost 3 months at this point, ever since the beginning towards the middle of February, right? And you can see back then the stock was at 65. Now it's all the way down. Well, it got all the way down to 35. Didn't get much under 35. I mean, it did go under to about $32 one time, but other than that, it pretty much held 35 the entire time. And instead of the descending triangle playing out, which would have happened if NIO dumped under 35, we're actually breaking out of the descending triangle. We broke out of $38, $40 as well. And if we zoom in a bit here on the hourly chart, you guys can see that we actually filled the gap up to $42 as of late. That was yesterday or 2 days ago. We broke out of it, actually. We got to $43, and now we're sitting right around 41 bucks again, a bit under 42, which was that resistance from back in the beginning of April. And you can see on April, when they released those delivery numbers, we'll talk about in a second here, the stock went from $38.80 the day before, and it went all the way to about $42.30 the day that they released those numbers. So that was a nice move. And again, now we're sitting right under that resistance. So in the short term, for this uptrend to continue, right, we need to break $42. And from there, I believe NIO could end up going anywhere from $45 to $46. That was resistance back in the middle of March. Then if that breaks, we could end up going at $52, which was resistance back in the beginning of March. So that's a quick little technical breakdown of what's going on. And overall, yeah, the bulls are gaining steam. The bulls are in charge right now. Well, not fully in charge quite yet, but like I said, we are breaking out, which is awesome. So now let's quickly break down these numbers that many of you all probably have seen already, but for those that haven't, or if you forget the numbers, we'll do a quick little recap here. So NIO delivered 7,257 vehicles in March 2021, increasing by 373% year over year, and they delivered a little bit over 20,000 vehicles in the first quarter ended March 2021, and that was an increase of over 420% year over year. It was also an almost 16% higher move from the previous quarter's numbers, and in Q4 they delivered about 17,300 vehicles. So quarter over quarter from Q4 to Q1, NIO grew deliveries by about 16%, 15.6% to be exact, and the cumulative deliveries as of March 31st of the ES8, the ES6, and the EC6 was 95,000, and now we know they actually, from their Hefei plant, they got out their 100,000th vehicle, which was a huge milestone. So that is NIO's numbers from the previous, from this quarter, the Q1. That's their delivery numbers, and we don't know the EPS and the revenue quite yet, guidance either, which we're going to talk about probably in another video tomorrow or the next day when those numbers actually come out. But as of now, that's what we're waiting for, right? And we got some awesome news about the Norway expansion, which is that catalyst that I think could end up setting off NIO maybe back up to the 50s, 60s over these next coming months. And on top of that, the earnings, right? EPS, revenue, guidance. Let's say they crush those numbers, and we'll talk about estimates here in a couple of minutes, so stay tuned. Let's say if they crush those numbers, the Norway expansion goes well, well. And mind you, they have an event here on May 6th, right? We'll make another video for that. This is going to be a recipe for success and a launching pad, even in the short term, in my opinion, here for NIO stock. And this has been a much awaited expansion. And for my research, Xpeng, they're already pushing into Norway. Now, NIO is obviously trying to do the same. I believe Xpeng had like 200 vehicles or something I was reading that they're pushing into Norway, maybe even more at this point in time. And you guys can see the screenshot right here. This will mark the company's first push into the highly competitive European market. And the company also indicated that a press conference is scheduled for 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, May 6th, which again, I'm going to be making a video for that. And you can see, well, you saw the screenshot on the screen here. So this is very exciting. Not only is NIO dominating, and yeah, there's competitors in China, but I believe NIO is going to be the best company in China. And just because there's 2-3 other big competitors, it doesn't mean that NIO is screwed. I mean, competition is good, guys, right? There's going to be a couple of major players in these markets, and don't forget about Tesla. You know, Tesla is going to be a player as well. So competition is good, and even though there is competition, I think NIO is going to do well. So they're capturing that Chinese market. They're seeing hundreds of % growth year over year. Now we want to see, and this is where the catalyst could take us to the next level. Now we want to see what the plans are for Norway, how they're going to expand there, and what kind of numbers are they going to do in Norway. And yes, that's going to be a little bit down the line. You know, they're not yet in Norway, right? But we want to see eventually, you know, can they replicate this growth in China? Can they replicate this in other markets? I mean, that is going to be what we need to be looking for. So for these Q1 numbers, these earnings, these revenue estimates, take a look at these screenshots here. I got these straight from Yahoo Finance, and I'm pulling them up on my iPad right now so we can read along together. For earnings, we have the average estimate from 2 analysts of -16 cents. The low estimate is 16 cents, and the high estimate is -15 cents. And these are all negative, by the way. And a year ago, they did for EPS in the same quarter, -25 cents. So that'd be a nice little, you know, narrowing of that loss from last year if they're able to get -15 cents. And let's say they do -10 cents, they beat these estimates. That is obviously going to be a very positive sign for NIO. And you can see the next quarter in June, and for the current year, the next year, 2022, the estimates as well. Those are more on the right of the screenshot. And for next quarter, I mean, look at the next quarter, the June quarter. That's Q2. Their low estimate is -14 cents. The average estimate's -12 cents. So each quarter that goes by, at least from what we're seeing here, analysts believe that NIO is going to be narrowing that loss, which is a good sign. And when it comes to revenue here, guys, which is arguably way more important than the EPS here, at least in my opinion, when it comes to growth companies, right? We have the average estimate from 3 analysts of $1.02 billion in revenue, and that is in US dollars. We have the low estimate of a little under 800 million, which I don't think that is going to be the case. I'm actually more looking at the average to higher estimate for my personal targets and what I'm looking at. I think they're going to do over $1 billion, right? And the high estimate here is $1.17 billion. And just look at the sales from a year ago, guys. This is a kicker. This is crazy. Year ago sales were 195.8 million in the quarter. So that is going to be over 400% growth year over year from, you know, the projections, the estimates here. So that is ridiculous. NIO is growing at a massive clip. And let's say somehow they came in and they crushed the estimates. They did 1.25 billion in revenue. They did 1.3 billion or something. That is going to set this stock to rip. That's going to be a scenario where it could end up going crazy. And you guys can see the next quarter, they're expecting on the higher end 1.32 billion, lower end 1.05 billion. The average estimate is 1.21 billion. That is for Q2. And you can see the current year estimates and the next year estimates on the right side of this screenshot. So those are the estimates from a couple of analysts here when it comes to NIO stock. Now, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Now that we covered it a bit, I gave my thoughts, we broke down the technicals, we talked about some numbers. What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to know as always. And we're going to wrap it up here. Quick video for this video today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, make sure to go down below, leave me a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to check out the Discord chat. You could also get 2 stocks from WeBull. Those are valued up to $1,600, $30 from M1 Finance as well, and $10 from Coinbase. All of those are free and linked down below. And if you want to support the channel a bit further, get a bunch of exclusive perks, check out my Patreon. That is also linked right down below. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching as always. Stay safe out there. Keep crushing the markets, guys. Peace out.